everyone, it's Michelle and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So y'all, we have some major royal news to talk about. So sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So as I said before, we're going to sprinkle a little bit of some Christmas holiday magic. The Waleses just dropped their beautiful Christmas card for 2022. Now the image, I believe, was taken this summer. It is absolutely beautiful. I love the fact that they're just dressed down, they're relaxed. There's no smoke and mirrors, no special designer clothing. They literally just look like a very happy, healthy family. And I absolutely love the fact their children are getting so big. All of these children are just going to be gorgeous like their parents, but I love to see a happy, healthy family, and they share it with us willingly. So I think this is a beautiful Christmas card. So the Spanish royals have just released their 2022 Christmas card featuring the beautiful princesses, Princess Sophia and Princess Leonor. You see the two sisters smiling, hugging one another in a pair of cozy knit sweaters. I love the fact that these two young ladies are very, very close sisters. Now, Sophia is the younger one. She is 15. She's also taller than her older sister, Princess Leonor, 17, who is going to be queen. But you don't see any heir and spare in this duo. These sisters are very, very close. Princess Leonor is going to be the very first queen of Spain in over 200 years. Now, I have not seen any of the royals, the Netherlands, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, release any of their Christmas cards yet. But as soon as I find those, I will share them with you here on this channel. So over in Monaco, the royal twins, Princess Gabriella and Prince Jacques, celebrated their 8th birthday with a cartoon character birthday party. So happy birthday to the twins. I hope they had a wonderful birthday. So as we know, Princess Charlene has had a very tough year last year. She suffered from a major ear, nose, and throat infection, had major surgeries, came back to her family back in December of last year, and then was whisked away to kind of an undisclosed location for several months, and then came out this summer and started making public appearances again. Now we know her marriage to her husband, Prince Albert, has definitely had its ups and downs, with him having several illegitimate children, many rumors running rampant. I could do a whole video series on my other channel about the Monaco royals, but it does look like she's in a better place, that she is finally recovering and regaining her health. She said that her family is her rock, and they have definitely been there for her while she has been recovering, and that she feels so much better. Princess Charlene said, quote, "I would first like to say that I feel so much better today than I have in recent years. I feel less pain and much more energy. I continue to recover to rebalance myself. It will still take time, but I'm happy my family and those I love are my rock. I approach the future step by step, one day at a time." So all I have to say is we wish Princess Charlene a full recovery as she continues to work on herself and heal. We know this time of year can be difficult for a lot of people. We wish happy 8th birthday to her twins, and we send positive wishes to Princess Charlene. So Omid Scobie, the official mouthpiece of Harry and Meghan, apparently needs some more Gucci shoes or more Botox, because he just announced his upcoming book called Endgame, where he's talking about the monarchy's fight for survival, is going to be released in August of 2023, a solid 8 months after the release of Prince Harry's autobiography, Spare, which is set to come out on January 10th. Now, according to Omid Scobie, this book is going to talk about the inner turmoil of the royal family. And he claims that he has a lot of insider information, apparently from Meghan. Yes, there's a rumor going around that Meghan took some secret photographs of Princess Charlotte in her room and gave them to Omid Scobie. Now, I don't know how true that is because that would be really stupid if they did that. I can't imagine they're that dumb, but then again, people prove me wrong all the time. Now, according to the publisher from Omid Scobie, they said in a statement, quote, on September 8th, 2022, the world stood still as news broke of Queen Elizabeth II's passing. Her death dismantled the protective shield around the world's most famous family and saw a long simmering crisis of confidence in the British monarchy begin to resurface. Now with unique insight, deep access, and exclusive revelations, journalist Omid Scobie pulls back the curtain on an institution in turmoil, exposing the chaos, family dysfunction, distrust, and draconian practices threatening its very future. This is the monarchy's endgame. Do they have what it takes to survive? Oh boy. I mean, who's giving him the insights, huh? Is it coming from Megsy? Well, I hope you got a better source, son. She doesn't exactly tell the truth, and she doesn't have any evidence or proof to back up any of her claims. So I'm very interested to see whose book is going to end up in the $1 bin first. Is it going to be Prince Harry Spare or Omid Scooby-Doo? Place your bets now, folks. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how fast these books end up in the dollar store. So another trailer dropped today for the second part of Harry and Meghan's Netflix series, which is debuting on the 15th. Now in this little clip, Meghan is saying that she was the royal scapegoat, that every time a negative story came out about the royal family, they would quickly leak stories about Meghan so they could fill that real estate on the cover of tabloids. She even has her friend, Lucy Fraser, said, quote, Meg became the scapegoat for the palace. I'm sorry, Lucy. Who the hell are you? Where'd you come from? Never heard of you. Never saw you, sis. And what are your sources? Do you have proof? Do you have evidence? Were you there in the palace when the leaks were being had? Were you on the email chain? Hey, CC, Lucy Fraser, let her know we're setting Meghan up, honey. Meghan, it's your turn this week. Sorry, sweetheart. We're selling you out to cover up other stories of the royals. We got to sell Meghan. We got to put her on the cover. So then Meghan, her lawyer, the lady who spoke out in that BBC documentary, Jenny Afia, said she had personally seen the evidence of the royal leaks. Did Meghan give you that? Where is the evidence? Where is the proof? Are you going to show some royal receipts? Because so far, y'all have proved nothing. Nothing about the racist allegations, nothing about the mistreatment, and now you are accusing the royal household, the palace, of leaking negative stories to trash Meghan. Let me just tell you something. The royal family has been talked about and dragged in the press and the tabloids for 50 years, maybe longer. Well before Meghan came along, every single member of the royal family has been trashed, and they're still being trashed. Meghan throwing her to the wolves would have done nothing to stop any story from coming out, okay? It wasn't like they threw her to the wolves. No, they fed me to the wolves. Sweetheart, the wolves were full. This was an all-you-can-eat buffet. You brought your own drama in a suitcase to the royal palace. No one had to leak anything, sweetheart. You literally gave it to them like Christmas dinner on a platter. Your own family went to the press. The royal family, sweetheart, didn't have to do anything. You are a walking, talking drama case yourself with your own baggage and your own skeletons. That's not the royal family's fault that you had a problem with your family. They had nothing to do with that at all. As a matter of fact, they wanted you to squash the beef with your daddy and your family. They wanted you to invite them to the wedding, and you said no. You said no. Instead, you wrote that little letter that went out to the publications and resulted in 2 lawsuits. The royal family was trying to clean up your mess, sis. They were literally handing you a broom, honey, clean up the mess. You refused. So do not blame the royal family or the palace for the fact that the press had an all-you-can-eat buffet and were literally eating up your drama that you brought upon yourself and you brought to the palace. The fact that you have a bad reputation that has followed you for your whole professional acting career has nothing to do with the palace. As a matter of fact, the palace has protected you. When you had 12 people from your staff accuse you of bullying, they buried the report. Now, if the palace really wanted to stick it to you, sweetheart, they would have published the report. But what did the palace do? They sealed it. So tell me again how the royal family is trying to make you the royal scapegoat and they're trashing you when they literally have the bullying report allegation with 12 people and they buried it. When the members who were on that report said, can you please release my NDA and can you please release the report? When 2 authors come out and write books about you, talking about your history of mistreatment of people on your way up the Hollywood ladder, not to mention the trashing of your own family, 2 people, Valentine Lowe and Tom Bauer, wrote 2 books about you because there's so much information and volumes of information about you that it fills 2 books. You have not come out and denied any of the claims in any of those books, by the way. That's a lot of information, sweetheart. The palace didn't give them any of that information. Tom Bauer interviewed 80 people who knew you personally. 80 people. That's a lot of people. And Valentine Lowe used sources that he had from the palace, mainly the 12 bullying victims themselves. So you cannot blame the palace for the negative press you receive when you are the person who is responsible for those stories. Now we know they're going to bring up Prince William's affair allegations. That was started by Meghan Markle's friend, who is a huge fan of Suits. I mean, really, bad taste. And who admitted he made it up. So you know they're going to be like, well, we have to trash Meghan so we can, bury that affair story with William and Catherine. It wasn't buried. It was in the press. It was all over Twitter. It wasn't buried. It's been out for years. They have trashed the royal family relentlessly. They're still trashing the royal family. The royal family has learned to deal with it. But Meghan, she's narcissistic and has very thin skin. She can dish it, but she can't take it. Okay? So Meghan and Harry, they want to silence the internet. They want to police free speech. They want to get rid of anybody who doesn't agree with them, who shares their viewpoint. They label them as misinformation, and they want to annihilate anyone who says anything negative about them at all. They are called narcissistic, woke snowflakes who think free speech is bonkers. So because there was some negative press that came out about Meghan and that the royal family couldn't squash it, or wouldn't squash it, and they did the whole thing, well, it'll blow over, everyone has to deal with it. She didn't like that. She literally said, well, I don't agree with that. I'm not going to sit here while they trash me. The problem is when you become someone who is like a royal, a politician, an A-list celebrity, that's part of the job, unfortunately. That's why they don't complain and talk about it. If they sat there and fought every single negative story, that's all they would literally do. Social media has made it even worse. So the best thing to do is to ignore the tabloids and to focus on putting out positive work, which is what the royals are doing. They're going back to business as usual. They're not giving the tabloids any press, and people are just focusing on more of the positive than the negative. But Meghan wanted every single negative story about her put out by the royal family. So if you're not putting out my negative press, then therefore you're siding with the press, and oh, you're leaking stories now to the press. And that's not true. Meghan, you came with your own negative stories. They followed you around. People spoke out about you because they had horrible experiences with you. You know, Catherine was a normal citizen for almost 10 years in the public eye, and you have not heard of anything negative about Kate. Kate has been literally in the public eye for 20 years, 10 years of dating and 11 years of marriage. You don't hear those stories about Kate, but Meghan, you came with a whole suitcase, sis. Well, before you even walked down the aisle, your own family was dragging you. You can't blame the UK and the royal family for that. It was like Christmas. It was the gift that kept on giving. The tabloids didn't need palace leaks, sweetheart. There was too many to go by already without anyone having to give them anything. You cannot blame people for your own bad behavior. Your own reputation, you know, your reputation precedes you. That's all you, Meghan. So now they're trying to make it look like the palace came out, they gave leaks. But the thing that is really, really shameful is that, you know, the people of the UK right now are going through such a hard time financially. They just lost the Queen. Economically, things are horrible. And then you have Harry and Meghan coming out slamming more mud at the people of the UK and more mud at the press and more mud at the royal family. And now they're going to dredge up these horrible, disgusting affair rumors once again. You know they do have children who are old enough to get online and to read your stories. You know Prince George and Charlotte might hear it from kids at school, what Harry and Meghan are saying about their own parents. You do know those children are old enough to get on the internet. You're damaging, you're horrible, and you're toxic. Two people who live behind smoke and mirrors, who lie and deceive people, but then turn around and slam other people and then have the nerve to play victim. No one is attacking you, you are attacking them. And then you have the nerve to cry crocodile tears out of your left eye. Happy, positive people don't live in the past, and they don't make money from trashing their family. This is not helping your reputation. As a matter of fact, I've seen more and more people turned off by your wine fest, that how privileged you guys are, and look at all the people suffering, and you too want people to feel sorry for you. So I'm sorry, but my golden tiny violin is in the shop, so I can't play a pity party for you. So you guys, it's going to be very, very brutal over the next week or so once the trailer hits this week. But I'm going to try really hard to get a video out for you as soon as I can. But I do have my mom coming on Friday, so I'll try to have it to you by Saturday or Sunday. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Leave me your comments down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. And please be sure to check out my other YouTube channel, Royal Daily Tea, History, and Fashion. I will have some new videos hitting later this week. Bye, guys.